Welcome one and all to Allmonster.com's All Monsters Eve, where virtual monsters are what matters. Here you can see our quickest qualifier for the event, taking his round number 1 bye run. That's David Cooley in the United States Air Force Afterburner, the mastermind behind the Rigs of Rods Monster Jam series. It's also a sponsor of this event. Also a sponsor of this event was SimMonsters.com, who was gracious enough to let us use this wonderful truck pack that they have for this event. And as you can see, Cooley getting ready to finish up this run. We're going to skip right into round number 2 action. 34 trucks. We had a big bracket, ladies and gentlemen. Had to make some cuts somewhere to get it all filled. Here we go. Round number 2 coming right at you. Fastest loser Mark and Maximum Destruction taking on fastest qualifier David Cooley in Air Force Afterburner. They leave the line, and you can tell Cooley had a wonderful hole shot. Mark unfortunately suffered from a little bit of lag right there. As you can see, Cooley rounding turn number 2 in the lead, hitting that set of cars over there. You can hardly see it on this view that I've picked out here, but it is a very close race up until this point right here. Mark had trouble getting around turn number 3. Cooley was blasting his way to the finish line. Right about now, as he comes to this final turn, he's going to blast to the finish line, and Mark is unfortunately not going to make it into round number 3, and Cooley in the Afterburner takes it in round 2. This was a battle of 2 trucks that debuted at this event. Ethan Dean's 4x Force and Al Moore's Trail of the Long Knives were pretty close out of the first turn right here. Dean has about a truck length lead going into the second turn. Moore slides it out just a little bit, doesn't hit the cars evenly. That's going to cost him going into turn 3. Ethan Dean has a big lead right now, and Al Moore's going to have to really play catch-up. He gets a good bounce here, but he's going to push wide out of the corner. All Ethan Dean down the Long Pond straightaway. Looks like Ethan is going to get the win in the 4x Force. He's going to come to the line, and that'll do it. Al Moore put up a good effort, though, for 22nd place in qualifying. That was a pretty good run. Numbers 5 and 16 in qualifying right here. Michael Murray in the beautiful-looking Savage X machine. If you're an HPI racing fan or have a Savage RC truck, you'll recognize the body on that machine. And then RKM, Ryan McCauley, affectionately known around here as Crybaby, is driving the Punisher truck, who qualified 5th out here on this course for this event, and he has a bit of a lead right here. Michael Murray on the nose into a pole right there. He's going to roll it over, much like one of those Savage trucks, as Ryan McCauley is going to go on to an easy round number 2 win. Very clean run for McCauley, and he wins it. Chris Kalin and Grinder taking on Andrew Wambo Wamsley and the Avenger as they come around the corner. Avenger only coming back because Blue Thunder and Dave Collard broke in round number 1 after beating Wambo, and Chris Kalin's got a significant lead right now. He was 7th quickest in qualifying. Wambo's got to do some catch-up in Avenger, but I don't think it's going to happen. Kalin's got a really good run going right here, probably his best on this course, as he's getting all the bounces that he needs, and Wambo is just not getting any bounce at all going into that last turn to help set up for that straightaway. And Kalin comes down Long Pond, takes the turn, and he is going to get the win on the 5 Lucky course and go into round 3, and Wamsley's over. These 2 guys made names for themselves battling out in Monster Truck Madness 2 a lot. Damian Bowers and Mr. Giggles taking on Mike Elmendorf, who drove Gravedigger in the Rigs of Rods Monster Jam season in the Insanity machine. And right now, Elmendorf's going to have to pull one out of his hat because Bowers has looked really good out here on this course. In round number 1, he had an easy defeat of his opponent. And now it looks like he's on his way to an easy defeat of Mike Elmendorf in round number 2. And Bowers has a beautiful exit of that turn right there. You could see it perfectly with that camera. Elmendorf is going to have to play catch-up, and he is not going to do it. He is a full straightaway and a half behind Mr. Giggles, and Damian Bowers is going to go on to get the win in round number 1. This race right here looked like it was going to be a good one on paper. Travis Sawillo unfortunately comes to the line. Something goes wrong in the driveline area, and Amsoil Shock Therapy doesn't move. But Eric Myers in the Chop Shop machine, who has an interesting story of his own for All Monsters Eve, as he's going to be racing this truck, but freestyling the Renegade truck Don't ask me what's going on there. As Eric comes around and down the long pond straightaway right here, he is going to pick up the easy round number 2 win over Travis Sawillo and Amsoil Shock Therapy. And you can see Shock Therapy kind of pulls forward a little bit right there, but it's a little bit too late as Myers is going to win. Michael the Roach Des Roach taking on Andrew Field and Out of Control Iron Man, driven by Roach, as he leaves the line right in front of the camera. They're going to come to the first set of cars. This is generally what's won the race for a lot of people out here tonight, is who was to this first set first. And right there it was Andrew Field. But they both come around this corner, and they're both pretty even right now as they both hit the second set of cars at the exact same time. They're both going to hit the third set of cars at the exact same time. Roach doesn't have enough speed, though, right there. It looked like the truck may have shut off up in the air over those cars. He's got it under control right now, but it's going to give the easy win right now to Andrew Field on this 5 lucky course. Field's going to get it by about a straightaway length, and Roach has problems at the end. Second to last race of round number 2, the 4th quickest qualifier, Timothy Smith and the Bigfoot Ford, taking on the Hot Wheels truck you might recognize, Danny Massey, and the Chillin' Villain monster truck. They leave the line, and it is all Bigfoot right now. Massey has a big jump over those cars. Not what you need on this course, and he is a little bit behind right now of the Bigfoot machine and Timothy Smith. Tim's got a beautiful turn right there, and now he's opened up the lead by about a car stack length. Massey doesn't get the turn that he needs. Smith is already on the straightaway, coming to the final turn, and he is going to get the win over the Chillin' Villain machine. Bigfoot goes to round number 3. This is a battle right here. These two guys drove team trucks in the Rigs of Rod's Monster Jam season. Rhodes unfortunately bobbles right there, and the debut of the half-breed machine is going to be cut short in racing. Cooley's going to go on and take the win here easily. But back to what I was saying, Rhodes drove the Amsoil Shock Therapy, won all 3 championships in the Rigs of Rod's Monster Jam season. Not looking like a champion here tonight, but the guy that chased him all season long drove Excalibur, and that was David Cooley in the other lane, and he is looking so smooth tonight, it is going to be tough to beat the U.S. Air Force Afterburner machine. Rhodes not going to advance. Cooley is going to have an easy round number 3 matchup. Moving on in round number 3, we have the 4x4 machine and Ethan Dean taking on Eric Myers and the Chop Shop Chevrolet. They leave the line, and this is a surprise as we see Eric Myers is out ahead of Ethan Dean. Myers is having a really good pass. Can he take out the 3rd quickest qualifier? Dean has been on a roll lately. He has won numerous King of the Hills, which are events that are one-night points championships events. And he has won a lot of those, driving Blue Thunder in Nashville to name one of them. But the problem here is he is not going to get this win. Myers gets around the last corner first, and he is going to get the win in the Chop Shop Chevrolet. Andrew Field in Out of Control taking on Ryan McCauley and the Punisher. They leave the line, and the whole shot looks like it's going to go to McCauley and the Punisher. They come to the cars, though. They're dead even when they hit them, and Field was all over the place on that landing right there. That could cost him the race. Now, they're both still pretty even as they hit the cars right there. They're going to come around this turn right here. Lead to Andrew Field on the landing right there, but he's going to have to really hustle and get around that corner. This could be the race of the night. They are dead even coming down the Long Pond straightaway to the final turn. Ryan McCauley slings it in there in a beautiful turn, and the Punisher is going to get the win. This is a rivalry from way back in Monster Truck Madness 2 days. Chris Kalin and Timothy Smith, they leave the line, and also this is kind of a rivalry between Feld Motorsports and the Bigfoot organization. Timothy Smith driving Bigfoot. Chris Kalin and Grinder. The Advanced Auto Parts Grinder, though, is behind right now, and the big Ford Bigfoot is going to take a lead right here over the white cars. Grinder's all over the place over the red cars. Smith is going to have an easy advancing right here unless Kalin can make this last turn stick right here, and he is not going to. Timothy Smith, the number 4 qualifier, still in the field, is going to take advantage of Kalin's mistake, and he is going to win in round 3. Well, this is the battle of the Cinderella stories right now. Wes Johnson, 23rd quickest qualifier, the lowest qualifier to still be in the racing bracket, as he took out number 2 qualifier Josh Rhodes earlier in the evening versus Damian Bowers and Mr. Giggles, who everybody just seems to want to root for in every single event that he's at. Mr. Giggles right now has some catch-up to do if he is going to defeat Wes Johnson and the Cranial and Sanatosis machine. He's not going to do it. It looks like they come down the Long Pond straightaway, and it is going to be Wes Johnson and Cranial and Sanatosis making that final turn, and he will move on to the next round. Which force is going to be the strongest here, the Air Force Afterburner or the 4x4? They leave the line, and right now it's the United States Air Force Afterburner that has the lead by about a truck over Ethan Dean's 4x4. They come over the first set of cars. Cooley has the advantage. Dean swings it wide. Looks like that'll be the nail in the coffin for Dean, as he has not been in this lane the entire night. Cooley has been in that lane and has a groove worn in that lane over there. He is going to take the easy win right here as Dean slides way too wide down the Long Pond straightaway of the 5 Lucky Race Course, and it is going to be David Cooley in the U.S. Air Force Afterburner taking the win. Numbers 5 and 8 in qualifying. 5 was Punisher and Ryan McCauley, and 8 was Eric Myers and the Chop Shop Chevrolet. They leave the line, and right now over the first set of cars, it is nobody's race. It's dead even. This could be a dead heat, ladies and gentlemen. They're that close. Well, it looks like Chop Shop had a little bit of a lead over the red set of cars. Coming back around, Chop Shop still has the lead right now. Gets a beautiful bounce into that corner, but it's going to push him a little too wide. He's going to overcorrect. They come down the straightaway. They're even going into the last turn. This could be the race of the night. They slide it around, and it is going to be Ryan McCauley's Punisher going into the semifinals. Wes Johnson, the 23rd quickest qualifier on the night, could have a Cinderella night, being one of the slowest qualifiers to come out of here with a win, maybe if he's lucky, if he can get around that big blue Ford in the next lane. Tim Smith has been in that white lane over there the entire night. He has got a groove worn in it just like David Cooley does, and I don't think he's going to want to give it up, but they are even right now until right there Wes Johnson makes a bit of a mistake, doesn't get the bounce that he needs going into the next to final turn, They come down the Long Pond straightaway. Smith is going to get around this turn. They're both going to be very close on the exit of the final turn, but it is going to be Timothy Smith and Bigfoot with the win. Eric Myers is going to try and take advantage of the fast loser position in Chop Shop to take out number 1 qualifier David Cooley and the U.S. Air Force Afterburner. They come around the first turn. It's all Cooley by about a half a truck, but he takes a hard landing right there. He actually caught one of the double bus stacks that's supposed to be for freestyle, and he is behind right now. Way behind. Cooley is going to have to really play catch up. Myers doesn't get quite the bounce that he wants. Oh, this is going to really cost him. He had the win, but he's going to lose it on the very next to last turn. Tough break for Myers, and he's going to roll Chop Shop over, and Cooley's going to go to the finals. Tough break for Chop Shop and Eric Myers. Semifinal number 2 between numbers 4 and number 5 in qualifying. Timothy Smith taking on the Punisher machine and Ryan McCauley. They come around the first turn, and they are dead even as they go into the next turn. Who is it going to be to go on to take on the Air Force Afterburner in the finals? They're both looking really good right now. They're both looking really even as well. McCauley actually was the first one to the cars going right here. Down the Long Pond straightaway. Still dead even. Dead even going into the final turn. I don't know who's going to get it. Oh, McCauley too hard on the brake. Slides past the final turn. Timothy Smith is going to the finals. And holy cow, Punisher rolls over hard. Hold on to your lug nuts, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for an overhaul. The Allmonsters Eve Finals. They leave the line, and Cooley's got about a truck length lead already on the Bigfoot Ford and Timothy Smith. Smith, a hard nosedive right there. Remember, he has not been in this lane the entire night, and right there shows you that he doesn't really know what the line is over here. He's still about a car length behind on David Cooley. He doesn't get the bounce that he needs coming down into the Long Pond straightaway. Cooley's got about a truck length on him into the final turn. It'll be all the United States Air Force Afterburner, and David Cooley is going to get the win in the Allmonsters Eve. Fastest qualifier. Oh, wow, Bigfoot rolling over hard. Didn't even see that. Cooley's going into donuts. He won it. Well, that'll do it for All Monsters Eve Racing. Congratulations to David Cooley in the Air Force Afterburner. Can he double down in freestyle? Stay tuned and find out.